Now that we can add categories and products into our admin side, let's try to work this time onto our client side. So we have, as you can see, we have already added our, or we can already see the different products that we have already entered. Let's try to check this time if our login already works. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need first to register. We'll also try to do some checking into our register just in case there are some issues or there are still some errors. Okay, so I'm going to click register. Let's say test at domain.com, password 12345, first name, okay, 123. Okay, then let's try to click register. Okay, so you have successfully registered. So basically the login credentials would be test at domain.com and 12345. Let's click okay. So we will be redirected. Okay, don't save. We will be redirected back to our login page. So let's try to add this time our email, or let's try to use our newly created login credentials. So test at domain.com, then 12345. Okay, you have successfully logged in. Okay, so we are now currently into our dashboard. Okay, so this is actually this is the only code in our dashboard. So it doesn't contain anything yet. As you can see, there's no HTML code whatsoever. So let's try this time to add some more code so that we can make it work. So the first thing that we need to do, okay, so I've opened header.php. Okay, so I'm going to add it here. Okay, I'm going to move this set of code. Okay, I'm going to cut, then paste it. Okay, let's just try to leave it as is here. Okay, then let's try to add our include header.php. Okay, let's try to add it also here. Include footer.php. Okay, let's try to reload. Okay, so we already have our dashboard. Now this time let's try to make a little bit of design into our work. What we are going to do is basically I'm just going to copy what I have here. Okay, so I'm going to create another file. Okay, let me just try to create another file, then new, Control F. Okay, let me just try to save as, then call this one as navigation.php. Okay, okay, so try to put it here onto our root. Okay, so to click save. Okay, so already have created our navigation. So let's go back to our dashboard. Okay, so we can highlight this page, highlight this code, I mean, and try to put it here. Okay. Also, we are going to move our welcome. Okay, so we have set to add here dashboard. Okay, so to delete this code here. Now let's try to see what will happen. Okay, let me just try to reload the page. Okay, so we have it here. So undefined array key username. So we have undefined array key. So where is it right now? So we have here this one. So username. Okay, so let's try to check what are some of the variables that we have added. So please process that login. So I have here instead of because I to use first name. Okay, so I open basically process.login.php and I just tried to copy this part. Okay, then try to change this one to first name. Welcome. Okay, you can also try to your dashboard. Okay, so to reload the page. Okay, welcome Michael to your dashboard. And this is also where you can see the on the top part here. This is where we can see the navigation. We'll try to move the navigation instead of being here on top, somewhere here at the bottom. Okay, what we're going to do? We're going to add the logout here. Then we also try to add the what do you call this navigation here at the bottom. Okay, so navigation. So this one navigation text start, or it's called text end, so that we can have it aligned to the left or aligned to the right. Okay, so over there, log out. Okay, so we already have your log out, but the file still doesn't exist yet, so we are still going to create the file. Next is process that, or let's say to call this one as purchases. Okay, so that's it. We'll try to add some more code as we go along. So right now we already have process purchases and logout. Or instead of purchases, let's try to call this one as transactions. Okay, also try to call this another one. Or try to also to call the file name called transactions. Okay, then so just try to put backslash to separate. Okay, I have it there. Next thing that we need to do, okay, so since we're already on our dashboard, we'll try to create another row. Okay, so this is where we're going to add, or this is where we're going to add our products. Okay, let's try to add. Okay, we'll just have to leave this one as is. So okay, so so we have here session, up to your dashboard and so on. Okay, so let's try to add this time also another link. So to call this one as index. Then call this one as home. Okay, then say to reload. Okay, so this is basically our landing page. This is our transaction. If we're going to click in the home, so we'll be redirected somewhere here. Okay, so that's basically for our index. Okay, so this is for our index. Now for our index, we are going to add some code. Okay, we're going to use we're going to start also our session here, session start. Okay, let's try to start our session. Okay, let's go to dashboard. Now, assuming that the session is or session ID is empty, we'll be redirected back to our index page. Okay, so we have here index, or okay, let's try to do something else. Okay, we'll be redirected back to our, well, this one is login page. We'll try to create also another file called login page. If assuming, let's say for example, that the session is actually not set, okay, or if the session ID is empty. So okay, so okay, that's it. Okay, check it out. So to check if this one is we have here on top. So what we need to do also is we're going to add the code here on top. Okay. Okay, but before we do that, let's try to go back to our dashboard. Instead of container, let's try to add this one as container fluid. Okay, let's try to just go back. Okay, we have here container fluid. border by 1, row B2. Okay. Try to use this part also. Okay. As you've noticed, by the way, I'm changing from I'm always trying to change something until such time that I actually find it already okay based on my standards. So I'm going to add it here. So what I did for this part, I just copied this row code or set of code. Then I added it here. Okay. So instead of text end or text center, I'm going to add text end. Okay. So that's it. Home. Okay. Border. Try to remove these two parts, this two set of class. Then okay, you can also add this part here. Okay. Then we can just delete this part. Okay. Okay, try to reload the page. Okay, so that's it. Now let's try also to add some code. Index. Okay, or we can just try to leave it as is. Welcome, Michael, to your dashboard. Okay, we can just try to leave it as is. Okay, this is already your dashboard. Okay, now once we go to home, okay, so we'll be redirected back to our home. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do, okay, let's try to add this part. I'm going to copy. Then let me just try to go to dashboard. Not this dashboard, but I mean index, by the way. Sorry, not dashboard, but index. So I'm going to add it here. Let's try to reload the page. As you can see, it's already here. Okay. So what we need to do next is we'll just have to remove this part so that it will just be basically plain text. Okay, so that's it. Now we will be checking also in order for us to display this line of code, we will be checking if not empty session ID. Okay. If it's empty, then we won't be displaying this line of code. If it's empty, then we can display it actually. Okay, so as you can see, it's already working. Then let's also go back here. Try to add this code. Try to add here again on top. Okay. So we have here logout. Okay. We also try to remove this part as well as this one. Now, for our home and register, this is actually our main navigation. So we'll try to remove this part by adding this set of code. Okay. So we will only be displaying the main navigation if session ID is empty. Otherwise, we won't be displaying it, or we won't be showing it to the user. Okay. Try to reload the page. Okay. So it's already it's already gone. Okay, we also try to do that with our login form. Again, you can just copy, highlight, then have this one, then let me just try to do this one so that it will be easier. Okay. Not on this part, by the way, because this is the search part. This is our form. Okay, so we have login. Okay, so we'll try to hide. So try to close. There. So that's it. So this is what you can already see. Okay, so we have there Angelina, Coca-Cola, Ligo, and so on. So we'll also be doing the details later. Okay. So um now, as you've noticed, by the way, also we have it here that it's basically displayed somewhere here. Okay, so where can we adjust that? Let's try to go back here on top. So that's actually on the 8. This one, this is actually that's actually this set of code actually is responsible for that one. So if we're going to set this one to 12, okay, it will be occupied. It will be occupying the whole page. If it's just 8, okay, so it will only be that big. Now we will. How do we adjust that one? Um, so that it will be easier for us. What we can do is we're just going to use again um, this one, this particular method. Okay, so we'll also again use our uh, shorthand notation. Okay, so I'm going to add it here. So if okay, not empty. So basically, if session ID, if session ID is not empty, okay, it should be 12. Otherwise, you can just have it at 8. Okay. So as you can see, it's already there. Okay, let's try to log out this time. Okay, so process logout.php. It's not yet found. Okay. Okay, let's try to create another file. Let's try to call that one as process. Okay, let's try to click add. We can click file, then new. Okay, let's try to call this one as process.logout.php. Okay. So again, what we can do is we can just try to copy this code, which is located into our admin. Okay, process logout. Try to check if it's going to work. Okay, try to reload the page. Try to log out. Okay, log in, log in. So that's actually on our header. So if you're log in, okay. Index maybe. Try to change it again to index. Okay, that's a problem. Okay, so now let's try to create another page, file, then new. Okay, save as. Okay, so I to call this one as login.php. Okay, now what will be the contents of our login.php? Okay, so going back to our process.logout.php, let's call this one as login.php. Okay. Let's also try to change on our dashboard. Let's also try to change this one into our login.php as well as in our index.php because we already have it here in login.php. Try to reload the page. So we'll be redirected back to our login.php. So basically, the contents of our login.php is just a simple form. Okay, so so to go back here to our index. Everything right now is just a matter of just trying to copy and paste. Okay, so I'm going to copy. Okay. Then so to copy this page also. First thing that we need to do is to copy our row. The next So to go back down, so change our column. To reload the page. Okay, so that's it. But we also need to include our header and our footer. So include header.php, and at the bottom include footer.php. Okay, so that's it. Try to make some adjustments. Okay, so to go back here also onto going back to our index.php. Let's try to use this one empty 3. Okay, try to put it to our row. We have a gap. Then text center. Okay, not that one. Okay, so in here 4. Instead of 4, can maybe add here 8. Just try to do something with it later. Div. Okay. That's it. The next thing that we need to do also is going back to our index. Try to add also our JavaScript, which is this part. Again, all we have to do is just copy and paste so that it will be easier for us. Okay, that's it. Now let's try it again. Okay. Test at domain.com, then 1 2 3 4 5, log in. Okay, welcome Michael to your dashboard. So we have here home. Okay, so we have here the following. Okay, let's try this time to work onto our going back to our index. Yep, going back to our index, try to do some. Let's try to work on our products. Okay, let me move it a little bit on top. So this is actually our. Okay, what we have to do is add echo then $ID. Then try to reload the page. Okay, as you can see at the bottom, you have already here product underscore ID is equals to 10. Okay, so we have here on top, but product.details at PHP is not yet found. So let's try to create another file. Okay, so to create file, then new. Okay, let's try. Okay, let's try to save as. Product.details.php. Okay, have to reload the page. Okay, index. Where's login? We'll try to use the layout of login. Okay. Again, we're just being lazy so that we can finish it a little bit faster. Okay, so but instead of making this one as 4, let's try to make this one as okay, try to delete the other items here. We don't need it anymore. We'll just try to leave the card part. Okay, card body. Right here. Okay, so this is it. But we'll make this one as our okay, decide also to change basically I just cut and paste. Okay, so this is it. So this is where we can display all of the product information. But before we do that, let's try this. Let's try first to add also the header. Okay, going back here again. Let's try. Okay, we'll add this part. Okay, so it's already turned on. Enter your navigation process. Okay, so your index. Again, what we can do is you can just try to of this part. So if it's if the user is currently logged in, then all of this information will be shown. Otherwise, it won't. Okay, so that's it. So decide to log out. Okay. So we'll try also to add here home. That's for our login page. Okay. I have to create another row. I'm currently opening my login.php. So div class row. Text and then home. Okay. Load the page. Okay, click home. Okay, somehow it's not working because we are being redirected. Okay, we are actually being redirected. So to log into PHP. So what we can do is let's try to check this. Let's try to delete this. Let's try to remove this part first. So I have to check what part of our code is not working. So I'm going to click home. So this is it. So I'm going to log in. Test at domain.com 2345. Log in. Okay. Click log out. Okay. I think that's already okay. Test at domain.com. Then log in again. Okay. Home. Click here. Okay, so try to add the items here. So let's try to add the details here. The details. Okay. Log out. Back. Okay. It's already okay. So basically for this part we just added session start and we deleted the other this line of code. Okay, because we don't need this part. So we're almost done here. What we also need to do later is we're going to add the image for our products so that at least we can actually see how the products will look like. Okay, so let's try to finish it up. Okay, I'm going to click home. Lego. Okay, so No, that's product details. Okay. So basically right now what I'll be doing is, okay, I'm currently going to go under index.php. Okay, I'm just going to copy this code. Then, okay. Let's try to arrange code. Okay, so that's under index.php. So basically copy this whole lines of code. Okay. Then well, let me just try also to copy this part where it's actually above order. So we have there where. Okay. Um Next thing that we need to do is we need to execute the query. Okay. So this one. I'm going to put it here. Okay, product check. Index. So we need to bind. Going back again to index. Okay. Instead of search value, try to call this one as get value. Product ID. Then instead of s, since basically we're dealing with an integer, so let's have it as I. So yeah, we also change this one. Instead of search value, get value. Okay. Index. Okay. Summary, need to execute the query. What I'm doing currently is just trying to arrange everything. Then okay. We also need to copy this part, since this will serve as our variables. Okay, so that's it. Then index, going back. So we're going to have it here. Okay, we'll try to check it this time. Okay, so product check instead of product check is if you get value. Okay. So to add here description. If it's possible. Home. These are also being redirected to login. So again, we can basically just try to delete this part. Yep, we can just delete that part. So back to home. Sprite. Okay, so it's not displaying currently. product ID. Okay, so we have here product pr.product name. Okay, let's try to change. We need to change this one to pr.id is equals to question mark. Okay, no, that's it. SSS. So you have this one. Echo. Try to check if it's going to work. Test. Okay. So just let's try to make it work. Where did we made the mistake? So you have here get value. So you have also here get value. Product check. Product check. We don't need this one. This should be for our checking. ID. There's 7. Let's just try to check. Product check, get value. SQL prod. Okay, let's try to check SQL prod. What part are we missing here? Okay, so I have to go back to index. Oh, so I have to copy this part. Let's try to check. So I basically just copied everything again. Then go back here. Then to paste it here from start of card to end of card. Okay. Also going to add our delimiter. Let me try to delete this part. Okay, so it's not displaying right now. Let's check. We don't need this anymore. Okay. We haven't included, by the way, our connection string. So we need to add our connection string. So we have there include connect.php. That's it. So we have here. So instead of 4, try to make this one as 8. Not 8 but 4. We don't need to use this one anymore, as well as this one. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do also is As you can see, our this part is actually already gone. Not equals to empty. So try to make this one work also. Empty, not empty, session ID. Okay, so your session starts. Try to make it here on top. Okay. Let's try to use print R. Print R session. So it's empty. Okay. So it's also empty here. So basically what we need to do is we need to log in. Test at domain.com 12345 and log in. Okay. Go back to home. Lego. Okay, so that's it. So we have here Lego. We can now just delete this part. Also try to format this part so that our code would look better. Okay, let me just try to change. Let me just try to format it for you guys. So we no longer need this part. As well as this part. Okay. So that's it. So we'll be adding our image here. Then let's also try to add our purchase button here at the bottom. So what we need to do next, because we already have our card. Okay. So let's try to create another row. Div class row. Okay. And set to go to login. Set to copy this part. Div class colon 12. Set up this one's default. Then add to cart. Or just copy the categories. Warning. Okay. Call this one as warning. There. Try to add also a little bit of spacing on top. empty-2. There. So there, add to cart. Okay, so So we already have here price, then we also have the remaining, then legal, then we'll also we will be adding this the image here. So we already have here add to cart. Although add to cart is still not yet working. You can go to home. Okay, transactions, by the way, will display all of the transactions that we have done or we're already done. Okay. So this is how to do, by the way, the details of our product. So although it's still not yet perfect, but more or less we're almost already there. So we can already see that we can already see that we have already set up our transaction page. So for our next session, by the way, what we are going to do, once we click Pepsi, let's say for example we click Pepsi, we'll be displaying the image here. Okay, then we can already add to cart. Okay, we'll also be doing some modifications into our database.